South Africa, get ready to get paid your 1 million rand payout. Then we're going to say, Bibi, come to South Africa. Now,
South Africa can pay South Africans 1 million every year for the rest of their lives. Let's say they.
Hello guys, how are you all doing? So I just had to post a little clip because that's what I'll be talking about. South Africans are now coming out to say, oh no, we are not with you on this, stop disgracing us as South Africans. You know, you have to mind the way you talk in public, because now, right now, you represent South Africa, you present the voiceless South Africans. When you come out to express your foolishness or your lack of knowledge, a lot of people say, oh, this is how we South Africans are. We are not like this. We don't appreciate what you are saying. Guy came out and said South Africa, the government can give each South Africa 1 million rands every month. They want to live life like people, like the locals in Dubai who don't work. According to him, he says locals don't work. It's not okay. Who told you locals in UAE don't work? Who told you that? You see the knowledge he's having. So he wants to build. He says he will become the president in South Africa. He will build South Africa in the next 12 months. That's like South Africa will become the second best country in the world. He has not built his own life. His own life. He cannot even shave. He has not built his own life finish. He wants to build South Africa in the next 12 months. What's his plan? His plan is that he wants to be giving South Africa 1 million rands every year. South Africans don't have to work. South Africans will not work. Can you imagine, guys? Can you imagine? Anyway, some South Africans are out there disagreeing with him, say no, we are not with you. Please, please, please don't go out and be saying this rubbish. Say South Africans, because he's talking nonsense. He's talking nonsense, to be honest. Nonsense. Anyway, guys, are you new on this channel? Have you subscribed? Or no, if you haven't, don't forget to subscribe. Please, guys, take a look and watch this video.
you don't know what I'm saying. Me, I'm voting this man. This man is going to be voted president now. This man, he's going to be the president. Let me tell you exactly what I'm talking about. Let me show you.
South Africa can pay South Africans 1 million every year for the rest of their lives. Let's say the average life expectancy in South Africa is 70 years. South Africa can pay 70 million to each person in this country to sustain themselves for the rest of their lives. We don't even need to work. We can have these legal immigrants coming to South Africa to work for us, like in Dubai. In the Arab Emirates, only foreigners are working. The citizens, the owners, the indigenous people of Dubai, they don't work.
But we have one problem now, right? The foreigners that got documents, we kick them out already. How are we going to have them graph for us now when we make the 1 million? Or not make it, when we get it. Now I must spend so much money. There's not going to be one South African that's working. Who's going to do this work for us while we enjoy our 1 million? Yeah. Guys, please send a message to all of the documented foreigners. Tell them we wasn't picking on them. They can come back, please. Please bring them back because, you know, we've got 1 million. We're playing.
They call him Pagelum Tagati. I have great admiration for Nkosikona Ndabandaba. I think he has no peer when it comes to mobilizing people on the basis of African pride, as we understand it in South Africa. International interest in so-called xenophobia of South Africans has turned the leadership of March and March and allied organizations into household names on the continent and beyond. Unfortunately, to handle international attention competently, it takes much more than the skills which are required to mobilize people to oppose uncontrolled influx of Nigerian criminals. Pagela may not have desired it, but he is the face of South Africa now. His opinions are associated with South Africa. His wisdom is the wisdom of South Africa. And his ignorance is associated with the whole of South Africa. By virtue of this situation, Pagela owes it to all South Africans to confine himself to topics he understands when he speaks in public, so as not to be caught speaking nonsense, because such nonsense will inevitably be used to discredit all South Africans. Pagela knows nothing about the delicate topic of economics, but of late he has taken to making silly public economic statements which make us all look ridiculous. For example, he is reported as saying that South Africa is so rich that we can afford to pay each South African R1 million annually for the rest of his life, which would enable South Africans not to work. Unfortunately, this confirms all the current vicious propaganda by other Africans that South Africans are ignorant, uneducated, and lazy. I must confess that when I saw a clip of Pakela saying these things, I wished the ground would swallow me. To be fair to Pakela, even people who think they are intellectuals, such as Malem, don't understand these things. At times, he does make almost equally stupid economic propositions, but world attention on what he says has never been as intense as current focus on Pakela. By his own admission, Pakela is the leader of his own foundation and is only giving support to March and March. Unfortunately, people tend to associate everything he says with March and March. Pakela cannot be denied freedom of speech. Perhaps the considerate thing for him to do would be to preface all his crazy economics propositions with the disclaimer that this is not the view of March and March. Another topic that Pakela may want to avoid is promising people millions of jobs. It makes him sound like Ramaphosa the liar. This is a particularly unwise topic after Pakela's secret June 29 meeting with the liar.
Be able to fix South Africa. Now he made another interview. Now he has reduced that to 1 million rand for every South African. He's saying that there are 70. The average lifespan of a South African is 70 years old. South Africa has the capacity of granting each of its citizens $1 million a year for the next 70 years. South Africa is wealthy enough. That is what he's saying. He said that he wants South Africa to become like Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, where its citizen does not work. You know, where foreigners have to work for them. He wants to see South Africa be like the United Arab Emirates, where South Africans can sit at home while foreigners can work for them, because South Africa is such a rich country. You know, somebody needs to call this guy to order. I think this guy is absolutely deluded, thinking South Africa is a rich country. South Africa is a country that cannot even fund its own healthcare budget. South Africa needed aid from the United States and Europe to fund its healthcare in terms of providing drugs for HIV patients and AIDS patients in their country. And FACO is saying that South Africa is so wealthy that they can pay their own citizens, every citizen in South Africa, $1 million a year. Somebody needs to educate this guy on what economics data are. What is economy as a whole? South Africa is a country with a GDP of $480 billion, with a gross national income of 7.7 trillion rands, which equates to about $390 billion. That tells you that the average income of South Africa as a country, as citizens per individual, earns an average of $6,110 US. So South Africa is not a wealthy country. South Africa is a poor country. This guy is living in self-delusion, thinking South Africa is a very wealthy country. Maybe he sees beautiful buildings on the street in South Africa. That makes South Africa a beautiful country. No, South Africa is not. South Africa is a poor country that is just doing well in a continent that is full of poor nations. That is why this guy has in his head that South Africa, looking at South Africa comparable to other African countries on the continent, South Africa is a rich nation. No, South Africa is not. South Africa does not have the capacity to give every citizen $1 million. Even the United Kingdom does not have that kind of money. United Kingdom is far, far richer, more than 10 times richer than South Africa. Cannot afford to grant his own citizens $1 million a year. This guy is absolutely a joke. You know, when he comes on air to speak, I just laugh. These are the kind of people that comes out from South Africa as a country. It tells you about the educational quality in South Africa. You see, when I see the ranking of South African universities being ranked globally, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Those rankings are just looking at the buildings. They're not looking at the content in those universities. Because when a lot of South Africans speaks, you begin to question the levels of education. I have interacted with a lot of South African doctors and lawyers and economists. The way they reason, I begin to question the levels of education in South Africa. This guy is so dumb. It's no longer 5 million rand for food. He's now talking about $1 million for every South Africa. Paco, South Africa is not a rich nation. Remove this delusion in your head that South Africa can afford to pay its citizens 1 million rand a year. South Africa is a poor country. A $480 billion economy is not a huge economy for a country of 65 million people. A gross national income of $390 billion. That is what South African national income is. Maybe you don't understand what national income is. Gross national income is the total income earned within South Africa plus net income from abroad. That equates to $390 billion, which equates to South Africa has per income a gross national income of $6,110. So South Africa is not a rich country. FACO, 5 million rand for food. Now you are becoming a 1 million rand income for South Africa. Thank you.
I say he's trending. This one is even better. The fact that he keeps saying nonsense and he speaks English a little. The other one, Nchunu, that one with English, this is how they are. That one cannot speak even one English. The last time he said some words in English, he says, our boys have gone to America. Very soon they'll come back. Everyone started laughing. And they came back. South Africans just stayed in America. Is it 1 month, right? They came back home. He was right. He says, my boys will go very soon. They'll come back home. That one has a lot to say, but the problem is English. It's English, and this one too has a lot to say, but this one can speak English a little. This guy said, they say, imagine what he will be saying in Zulu. In Zulu, what he will be saying, because I think language barrier now is limiting him from saying a lot of other things. Imagine the president of South Africa. The president of South Africa does not even know anything. God. Anyway, guys, are you new on this channel? Please subscribe or no. If you haven't, don't forget to subscribe. I hope you guys are doing well. Okay, take a look and watch this. Don't take a look and watch. I'm sorry, I thought this is my introduction. See you guys in the next video. Okay.